Hello everyone, welcome to Redbest US channel. In this video, we'll look at the latest news on the second round H1B lottery that USCIS just conducted and what they've selected. We'll look at the news and the summary of updates and everything. Yeah. So this is what we'll cover in today's video. Background of what has happened so far. What actually is the second round lottery selection news in terms of numbers, and then we'll look at if there will be a third round lottery as well. So if you haven't subscribed to our channel, do subscribe to our channel for getting regular updates. So this is the official update from USCIS website, where you can see that they've conducted the second round random selection. Random selection is nothing but the lottery, right, for FY22 season. So this is what we look at in detail. Yeah. So just to give you a background of what has happened so far, the H1B 2021-22 season has started in the month of March, right? And from March 9th to March 25th, that was the registration period where employers were given a chance to submit H1B registrations for their applicants. So it was about a 2-week window. And after that, there were about almost 308,613 registrations that were submitted. Probably the highest so far ever submitted with USCIS, right? About 308K registrations were submitted, and of that there were about 37,000 unique employers that were part of that, and about 48% of the registrations were actually from master's quota. Some statistics, right? I mean, this was not released quite late, not during the time, but later, so that's why we're giving all this update. Yeah. And the first round lottery was actually did happen in on March 30th. That was the last date, right? And in fact, they selected 87,500 registrations. As most of you know, the cap is 65 plus 20, which is about 85,000 slots. So on an average for 85,000 slots, they selected 87K, which is just a very little over 2,500 petitions over, which is significantly less. And we were expecting that would happen, but you never know, right? The reason for the second round lottery is because USCIS did not get enough H1B petitions during the initial filing period. That is the reason. So whoever has been selected in the first round selection get a 90-day window, and they have to file during this period. It seems like many of them did not file, so that is why they're going for the second round. Now let's look at what has happened in the second round. So with the second round, which has happened today, right? Earlier today, this is when the news came in, and that's what USCIS news says. So they basically did a selection from the waitlisted pool from the registrations that were submitted in the March. So these are not something new. So these are all existing registrations that were submitted back in March. So they were all waitlisted, and they did another round of lottery, based on that. And that's what the selections were made. And in total, they selected about 27,717 registrations in the second round lottery. So if you add it up with what has been selected so far, at 87K plus about 27K, it comes to 115,217 petitions that were selected so far for fiscal year 2022 season. And the timing for filing is basically from August 2nd to November 3rd, which is basically, starting from, next week, right? Today is Friday, so, Thursday. So you get about 90 days for filing, which starts from Monday of next week. It's pretty much same as last time, right? And additional things as the results will be notified in my USCIS account. This is something your employer would check, right? Your employer would log into their account, and they would see. They usually get a notification, right, and an email telling that something has changed. And when they log in, they will see this result in the list that who has been selected. And they can also pick up the registration selection notice from there and download it and look at it, right? We'll look at a sample of, the sample registration notice as well from second round lottery. Registration selection notice will have the service center where you need to send the H1B package. So this is where you're supposed to send it. If you don't send it, then there'll be delays and all sorts of complications, which you don't want, right? So that will have when to file and where to file. We'll look at that sample in a minute, right? And also, if you applied in Master's Cap, you need to submit the proof because, when you did submit in Master's Cap back in March, you may not have graduated. But now if you're graduated, you have the degree, right? So you could submit that as part of the proof and you'll be fine. So that is what it is. And everything is pretty much same as the first round. The main difference is just the dates of filing. So nothing to be confused there, yeah. So this is how the second round lottery selection notice looks like. If you can see, right, so it's 7/29. This is the notice date, 2021. That's the fundamental difference that you see. And if you see the received date, 3/17/2021. Thanks to one of our community members who actually shared this notice. So this is from them, and you can see that we just masked the information just for privacy reasons. But you can see other important part is you can file from 8/2, which is basically August 2nd. Till November the 3rd, and all these details, right? So this is the fundamental information that is confirming that it's a registration selection notice, which is I-797C. This is a PDF file essentially where you download. You don't get a physical copy of this, and you also cannot track this on USCIS. Can't go to USCIS case status and check for this, right? So this is something this is just something only your employer can download and check. So if you're not been selected, you won't get anything. You just are still in the waiting list, right? Now the big question is, will there be a third round lottery, right? This is something, if you're lucky and you're selected, it's fine. If not, will there be a third round lottery? So let's first look at the numbers, right? So I always prefer to look at numbers. So if you look at the first round for a last year numbers, FY 2021, the first round 106K were filed and the second round 18K were filed. So if you add them up for FY 2021, about 124K 415 were filed, like last year for FY 2021. Now in comparison with this year numbers, we had about 87K 500 in the first round, and about in second round 27K 717. So this adds up to 115K 217. So technically on paper the difference is about 9,198K petitions. Yeah. So mathematically, there are about 9K petitions short. So on the surface, it sounds like we could have a third round lottery, but it doesn't work like that in terms of math, right? And we look at that, the reason, even though there are less petitions, why we believe that there may not be a third round. So these are the reasons we believe that there won't be a third round. The first thing is, last year was pandemic year, so there was more jobs lost. So I think many people did not apply. So that was one of the reasons. And now in 2021, there is a significant amount of demand. So we see that more people will be filing, and there is a lot more demand. So yeah, so there'll be more people filing, and there won't be any reason that they would not turn down an offer, right? So that's one thing. And again, the Trump administration's policies are gone. Some of them are gone. There were employer memos. There are quite a few of them that are really gone, right? There was a lawsuit that also removed some of these things. So there'll be less RFEs, and less rejections as well. So from an employer sentiment standpoint, they're more likely to file. So these are very, very positive things, right? If you look at it from a demand standpoint, for somebody filing, they would not really turn down an opportunity that if they were selected. So looking at all of these, right, we believe that third round is very unlikely based on the data and some of this rationality, right, rational analysis, right. But again, we could be wrong. But this is what we think. This is just for your planning, we would say, right. So I would love to hear what your feedback is and what do you think if there'll be third round. And also, we never had third round, so that's why basically we don't believe that there is another possibility of third round. So if you haven't subscribed to our channel, again, firstly, thank you for watching. This is a quite lengthy video, right? So thank you for watching, and do subscribe to our channel for getting regular updates.